What is up, guys? Nightbricks here, and welcome on into a video today where I'm going to be showcasing all of the Ninjago Elemental Master minifigures. I've finally managed to collect them all, so I figured why not make a video showcasing them. So without further ado, let's get right into the showcase. Alright, and to start things off, I'm going to go chronologically through the seasons and kind of like their order of appearance of the Elemental Masters. So we're going to start off with one of the season... Oh no, technically it was the... I don't even remember what it was called, but like the original season before Season 1, before Rise of the Snakes and all that. So we're going to start off with the main 4 ninja. We're going to start off with Kai. Now, I'm specifically going to use the versions of the ninja from Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu Season 11 because these suits, they kind of became like the regular suits of the kind of, what was it, Wild, I think it was Wild Brain, whatever, the seasons 11 through onward, basically. They became like the regular suits before the ninja would get their upgrade, so that's why I'm going to use these suits as the representations for the main 6. So here we have Kai, the Master of Fire. Really cool minifig. As I said, not going to go through all of the different suits because we'd be here all day, and I also do not have all of those suits. So, you know, Kai, he's got his cool little sword that's been his weapon even in new series, Dragon's Rising. Taking off the helmet, or sorry, the hood, he's got the same exact headpiece from the Lego Ninjago movie, which has been consistent since then. Throwing on his hairpiece, you know, this is his hair. That's what he looks like now. Overall, you know, he's the Master of Fire. I don't have his dad, Ray, so unfortunately I can't go over him. Otherwise, I would include him in this video. But technically, I am going through the like current, except for one, which I'll get to later on, masters of each of these elements. Alright, so next up we have Jay, the best ninja of all of them. And here again, in the Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu outfit, you know, kind of relatively basic suit. A lot of these suits were just kind of pretty basic overall. You know, he is Master of Lightning, best element there is. Actually, I don't know if that's true. Again, features the head from the movie, which has been, you know, his kind of redesign, even though they say it's just aging. So on the hairpiece, you know, it's Jay. He's an adorable little fella. Can't go wrong with Jay. And next up here we have Cole, the Master of Earth. I think, you know, he's got a pretty cool design. I like when they do the sleeveless look on him. Makes it look really cool. I don't know, it just looks really nice on him. They've been using this orange color as kind of like a accent color to him a lot, and I think it fits the whole Earth aesthetic. I really like it. Stands out a lot. No, you know, he comes with his hammer. The hammer's kind of been like his weapon now, ever since the movie. The movie kind of redefined the weapons that they use. But yeah, it's Cole. Taking his hood off, we again have the movie print, which I think fits Cole. I don't know about this face necessarily. I don't think this face expression fits Cole the best, but, you know, this smirk definitely kind of fits Cole's vibe. And then just quickly throwing on his hairpiece. I gotta grab it. Again, it fits Cole. That's our Elemental Master of Earth. Alright, and rounding out the original 4 members of the team is Zane, the Master of Ice. He's here in his white outfit, which has been consistent ever since Season 1, and they actually accent it with this kind of, I think it's azure or dark azure, which they don't do too much of it, but I like when they do. It kind of adds to his icy effect. Master of Ice. He's got his shurikens, which is one of the only weapons that has stayed consistent with him. But yeah, he's really nice. Angry Zane expression that we've had for years, and then he'd occasionally get, you know, special printing. Throwing on his hairpiece, he's got this piece in silver, very reminiscent of his original hairpiece, but still something a little bit different. Looks very nice. It's always cool to get a hairpiece in silver, so I'm really happy to have this hairpiece in silver as well. Alright, moving on into the very first season, we got Lloyd, and he is the Green Ninja, the prophesized Green Ninja. A lot of us thought it could have been either Kai or Jay. Personally, I was on Team Jay because Jay should have been a Green Ninja, but that's besides me. But yeah, Lloyd is the Green Ninja, son of Lord Garbodon, which doesn't make sense as Garbodon is his first name. Why is Garbodon? Either way, yeah, this is Lloyd. And this season they decided to give him like this brown accent to him, which is different, but looks kind of cool. Popping off the hood, he's got green eyes, which is pretty much the only Elemental Master to have specialized eyes. I think maybe one or two of the other ones have them, but that's only when they're using their powers. Lloyd just permanently has his green eyes. Yeah. Throwing on his hairpiece, that is how he looks. It's kind of weird that this outfit never got gloves. I don't know, just a random thought. Alright, moving on to the Tournament of Elements season. I'm going to try and go through a lot of these figures pretty fast because this video is going to take way too long if I don't go through these fast. So we're going to start off with Skylar. Skylar is the Master of Amber, daughter of Master Chen. Basically, Amber, she can, well, the element of Amber, she can touch any other Elemental Master and copy their power. They've always stuck with this kind of dark orange color for her. This is kind of a combination of a bunch of different pieces for her to make, I don't know, just like a pretty good looking design for her. I think it kind of matches with these other guys back here. But yeah, that is Skylar. Next up, we have the Master of Metal, Karloff. He's kind of got he's the Russian accent guy. He looks really cool. Very metal theming around him. He's got his shoulder pads, which I actually swapped these out for these like Praetorian Guard ones in silver because I don't know, I just kind of thought it looked kind of cool. Give him a bit more bulk. He's got the big metal fists, and yeah. That's Karloff. Surprisingly though, we've never got a fully metal version of him. We've only ever gotten this one, version of him. I think it'd be really cool to get a metal version of him, maybe like a CMF, or if he ever came back in any of the future seasons, that'd be really cool. But yeah, that is Karloff, the Master of Metal. And here is Nero, the Master of Mind. He was one of the other prominent Elemental Masters featured in this season. He arguably was one of like the main side characters, apart from like Skylar in this season. He's a really cool figure. His robes actually kind of look like giant robe prints, which is really cool. Only ever came in a Bricktober pack, which now goes for like, I think he's like a $50 to $60 figure now, which is crazy. They gave him this Widow's Peak hairpiece and they printed on the black to it, which I'll take it off and show you. It's a white piece. Only ever came with this figure. And originally he uses like the it's the hairpiece they use on Beast Boy, but it's without the ears. And they're not gonna recreate a whole new mold without the ears for that, just for this one figure in a Bricktober pack. So they just went with this, which I think works. And this is kind of how he got redesigned to in the show as well, just to kind of fit that. And I don't know, just a really nice figure. Unfortunately, no alternate face print, but, you know, it still works. Still a really cool figure to have. And here is Shade, the Master of Shadow. Nothing too much to say about him. His design is slightly different in the show. This torso is a bit more detailed and more armored than in the show from what I remember. But it's like this kind of sleeveless torso armor body piece thing. And then they actually give him dual molded legs, which they did not need to, but they still did anyways, and I think it looks really cool. Again, only came in a minifig pack in, I want to say 2016. It was around the Skybound era of Ninjago, because that whole pack had Skybound advertising box art on it. Yeah, really cool. The expression, I don't know, it's alright. I mean, it fits the character, but it's whatever. I think they could have maybe done a better facial expression, but I think it kind of gets his attitude pretty well. And here is Griffin Turner. This one, honestly, you could probably look at this figure and say, oh, that's just a random ninja wearing sunglasses, or a random karate master wearing sunglasses. But no, he is the master of speed. And to show that, they got this really cool like Will's Peak hairpiece that looks like it's kind of flying back, so pretty good part usage. Only came in one set in 2020, or not 2020, with the Tournament of Elements wave. Flipping his head around, he actually did get an alternate face print, but we've never seen him without his sunglasses on, so, you know, it's weird that we got it. Cool that we did, but I think it would have been cool if we got a face print with the sunglasses, like the angry face, but having those sunglasses on him would have been really nice. But I mean, either way, it's still cool to have him. Really nice. And yeah, that is the Master of Speed. Next up, we have the Master of Smoke, Ash. Now, in the show, his coloring was kind of weird. It wasn't really light gray, but it wasn't the sand blue that they used either. So they decided when they released this minifig to go with sand blue, and honestly, it looks really nice. I don't remember entirely what he looks like in the show, but I'm pretty sure this is actually really accurate. In his face print, I really like that, because in the show, he's really cocky in his fight against Kai, and this face print shows it. Again, like most of these other one-off figs, no face print on the back, but still get a really cool figure. So yeah, Master of Smoke. Next figure we have is Pale Man, or Mr. Pale, or whatever you want to call him. He's the Master of Light, which as a result, I guess, turns your skin invisible, because he has a trans-clear head print with just some sunglasses on. He's really pimped out, and really the only reason they went with this design because it was an Ultra Agents figure. He only ever came in an Ultra Agents set, so technically this isn't even an official Ninjago figure, but I guess when they were producing the show, they just decided, hey, we'll reuse some of these designs. He's got some back printing, no alternate face print, because it's a clear head, and then either way you'd see it with the hat. So, you know, really cool figure to get. Kind of cool that they reused designs from other themes as well. He's really hard to get in the US as well. He's really expensive. I got lucky. I found a listing on eBay for like $5, and right away I bought it. So, really cool figure to have. Alright, and another Ultra Agents figure. This is Tox, also known as Toxikita in the Ultra Agents line, but Ninjago just kind of renamed her just simply Tox. She is the Master of Poison, if you couldn't tell. Really cool figure to have. They use the same hair they used on Pixel, which is actually like the Cave Woman hairpiece. Well, the original Pixel, I should say. And she's just kind of covered in all these like poison welts, and she's got all the only other figures to have glowing eyes, but these are like actually glowing, whereas Lloyd's just are green eyes. And she does have an alternate face print, but we never see this in the show. This is just something that came on the figure. So most people who collect Ninjago and have this figure just use this face print, because this is accurate to the show. Every time we see her, she just has the glowing eyes. And yeah, she's a really cool figure. Really unique element to have in Ninjago. And yeah, that is the Master of Poison. And here is the Master of Gravity Gravis. Now, with this figure and the two after it, you'll notice that these designs seem, I guess, a little bit more modern when compared to the other ones, and these also are not entirely accurate to the show because these are legacy figures. Now, basically, from my understanding, is when LEGO switched production studios for the show, they didn't have the rights to the designs from the previous studio, so they couldn't use those original designs when making these figures, so they had to come up with these new designs that felt like the characters but were slightly different. And I think this is probably the most accurate one. I mean, the face print looks right out of the show, so there's that. That's really cool. I went ahead and threw on these arms myself. Originally, he just had unprinted arms, but I think these arms they had a bit more detail. He's got his turban on the head, which was in the original show. Back in the original show. And then he's got this face print that looks like he's kind of meditating. Because in the show, he would kind of... If I can do this. He would kind of just, like, meditate like this and levitate, I believe, if I remember correctly. Which is, that was pretty cool. But, yeah, he's one of the very few, apart from, like, the main ninja, to have alternate face prints. Which, it's whatever. But yeah, that is Gravis, the Master of Gravity. Alright, here is Jacob Pevsner, the Master of Sound. And this is, again, another figure that was redesigned for the Legacy Wave that looks somewhat like the original, but still pretty different. It's got the same hairpiece. His glasses, I think they were originally circles with stars in the middle, whereas with this, they just made him just have star glasses. The color, the teal, I think the teal was also in the original show. I don't really remember. It's been a while since I've seen that episode. And they gave him just this reused guitar piece, which is not what he had in the show originally. He had like a completely different instrument, but they didn't make... I don't think that piece exists, so they didn't make it, even though they could probably make it out 2 different pieces. They didn't, unfortunately, which sucks. I don't remember if he does have an alternate face print with him angry or scared. I don't really know. Kind of hard to tell. Still a pretty cool minifig to have, but kind of sucks that he's one of the ones that really differs from the show quite a bit. But either way, that is your Master of Sound. Alright, and here's probably the worst figure out of all of these, Blobo. Now, again, this is a legacy design figure, but it's just like so far from the original design. The hairpiece and the legs are probably the closest thing to the original figure, but like the torso, originally he wasn't shirtless. He had like a tank top type shirt, and the legs, actually, a lot of people say the legs aren't accurate, but honestly, if they had just dual molded them to have like yellow boots, so if like he was like shoeless and just had shorts instead, the print is accurate. Then it's just, legs, I'd be fine if they didn't do the boots, but like the torso is probably the most inaccurate thing to this figure. But then what's even worse is they reused this face print from Hidden Side, which just does not fit him. Because originally he had like these really bushy eyebrows, and you just don't get it. He looks really a lot younger than he really should be. But I mean, it looks like him, but it doesn't, unfortunately. And I don't know what else to say. That's the Master of Nature for you. Alright, the final figure from this season is Camille. This is one of the newest figures that we've gotten. She just released in the Ninjago City markets a $370 set. So she is not a cheap one to get. She definitely comes in the most expensive set out of all of these for original retail price of said set. So if you're a completionist like me, you're going to be paying pretty petty for her. And again, this is another figure that suffers from the Legacy redesign, but this one actually looks pretty good, I would say. she loses like the big red lipstick and instead just has like, I don't know. That was I feel like that was one of her like defining features, is she had like these big bright lips that were red. I don't know, not that big of a deal. Pretty sure it's a reused face print as well. But it's really nice that they went ahead and remolded this hairpiece in purple as well. It's really cool to get. But either way, you know, really cool figure to still have. Really nice to finally have her be made by Lego. The whole Ninjago City Markets is just full of figures that that we've been waiting for and are just finally made. So, you know, go buy that set, I guess. But yeah, she is the Master of Form. I don't know if I even said that earlier. Oh, jeez. Yeah, she is the Master of Form. Come on. Come on. Oh my god, I am struggling. Master of Form, Camille. Alright, moving on to the next season, we have Hunted. We're going to start off with Moro, the Master of Wind. This is a really cool figure to have, because this is really, well, this whole season is like, they really introduced these legs in these clear colors. It's really cool to get. He's the Master of Wind, and if you notice, his symbol is actually pretty similar to the original Green Ninja symbol, because he was supposed to be the Green Ninja before, well, he died, because he's a ghost. Now, skip ahead a little bit in the video if you don't want to get the Dragon's Rising spoiled, because I talked about this earlier in the video with Kai, back with Kai. 3, 2, 1, he is no longer the Ememental Master of Wind, because he, like, died now. And Euphrasia, who's like a monk from, I don't even remember the name of the place. I think it was the Cloud City or something, I don't know. But, you know, there's a new Ememental Master of Wind, and she has not been made into a minifig yet, so unfortunately, Moro is our representation for the Ememental Masters. But that's, you know, not a bad thing, because Moro is a really awesome figure. And yeah, that is our Master of Wind. Alright, you probably noticed I skipped over her earlier, but here she is, Nia, the final member of the Core 6, the Master of Water. And Nia's suits really are pretty inconsistent throughout the whole show. She goes from dark red to this azure color to gunmetal gray, and they kind of just fluctuate between the suits. In this version of her, stuck with the gunmetal gray with the accent of dark azure, which I like. I like this color combination. I think it looks cool on her. The dark azure color is one of my favorite colors in the whole Lego color palette. She's here with her like trident spear thingy, and again, she features the same face print from the Ninjago movie, and she also utilizes the same hairpiece. You know, really nice figure. It's cool that we have Nia being a core member of the ninja instead of just being stuck as the Samurai X, which, I don't know, it's kind of cool just her getting to be a ninja instead of just having to be, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Whatever. That's Nia. Alright, jumping ahead to the Hands of Time, we have the Hands of Time. And while in their current state, at least with these figures, they weren't technically Elemental Masters, they had used the Time Blades to utilize their powers, they are still technically Elemental Masters, because they were born with, well, and inherited their powers, I should say. They weren't born with their powers, but they eventually got their powers. And, you know, really cool figures. These things are like, it's like $50 each for these figures now, which is crazy to think about. You got Crux on the left, Acronix on the right. Really cool face prints underneath. And only one of them has an alternate. Crux has an alternate for Dr. Saunders, because throughout this entire time, Dr. Saunders was actually a villain in disguise, which is actually really cool to see at the time. But, yeah, they kind of differentiate the two, because Acronix has got a lot of tech. You notice, like, the MP3 player, this little kind of headset thing, whereas Crux is more worn down. He's got dark red versus the regular red, and he's got, like, the hourglass This kind of shows like the difference between the two of the brothers, which is really cool. But yeah, that is the Time Twins in Masters of Time, which is kind of cool to see that we get two people who are the master of the same element. Alright, moving into the Oni trilogy as a whole, we got a bit of confirmation on Wu and Garmadon, and that they are technically considered elemental masters because Wu has the element of creation, whereas Garmadon has the element of destruction. So I'm going to be showing them off here. You know, Wu, this is his kind of like, I don't know, season 11 onward design. He's got this cool little cape, which is kind of cool to see Wu have a cape. He doesn't, I think this is the only outfit where he does have like an actual cape piece. Really nice to see. It's a really cool design for him. Kind of matches with the aesthetic of the other season 11 figs. And I think this is the first time he got back prints for his ponytail on the back of his head, which is also really cool. He also has more beard print on him. But yeah, that is Master Wu. Following up Wu, we have his brother, Lord Garmadon, the Master of Destruction, which, you know, makes sense for him. I guess it's interesting to say the least. This is just his Sons of Garmadon figure. I don't know what to say about him other than he's Garmadon and he destroys. Alright, making a pretty big time jump to from the Oni trilogy to Dragon's Rising, we have Wildfire. And no, she is not the Master of Fire. She is the Master of Heat. Now, how is that any different from fire? You tell me. But then again, we have water and ice being elemental powers, which are basically the same thing. So, yeah, I guess it's not much to complain about. Really cool figure design. She uses a hairpiece from Monkey Kid. I don't know what's the character's name, so I'm not even gonna try. But you know, really cool design. She unfortunately only has this one face print, but still a really cool figure to add to the main cast of Ninja, because Dragon's Rising is going to have a new cast apart from like the original 6 and side characters. So yeah, cool figure and nice new addition to the team. Alright, and these last two aren't necessarily confirmed to be Elemental Masters, but it is assumed that they probably are to some capacity. So to start off, we have Sora, and she's the one I'm more confident about because from what we can tell, she is the Elemental Master of Technology, because when she interacts with Baby Ryu, she gets these powers that allow her to like change and control and form all these different technological things. So it's a really cool figure design. She's one of the very few figures to even have arm printing in Ninjago, so that's really cool to see. But yeah, potential Master of Technology. Alright, and for our final potential Elemental Master, we have Aaron. And he might be the Master of Spinjitzu, which doesn't make sense, but he might possibly be the Elemental Master of Spinjitzu. No one really knows yet. This is his urban design, as it's officially called. I don't have, as for Sora as well, I don't have the regular suits, but this torso is the same print as his regular design, or his ninja suit. But yeah, he might have the power of Spinjitzu, so as I said, might be a master. Who knows? Alright, and that is all of the Elemental Masters that LEGO has made. And I think it's really awesome that we finally have the full collection, and we might even be getting some more, which is kind of cool to see. Let me know which one is your favorite down below in the comment section. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell to make sure all the videos that I post show up in your subscription box. Without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.